today for you so that you have a really clear understanding of what you need to be doing when Malabar comes home. This is Malabar in this crate right here. I think that, just Bandit, no thanks. I think just, I think that I don't know a lot about you. I don't know a lot about your past. I have had very little time to chat with you. We're going to get a lot accomplished over our consultation on Wednesday, so I'm going to have a much better idea of what you need to help you understand Malabar and what she needs. But I think as a rule of thumb, it's really important to understand that this training does not translate home unless you follow through with what we say. So for every corner you cut or decide that it's not necessary for you to follow through, is basically going to cut through the training and make it harder and harder for Malabar to listen to you. Now she's getting e-collar trained. I do have an e-collar right here for her. I'm going to swap it out for a small dog collar. Right now I didn't have one. They should be here today, so I had to use a bit of a bigger collar on her, so it looks a little bit bulkier than the one that you're going to receive. I just kind of wanted to warn you. Anyway, like some of the questions that you've asked me, like, what do you do about car anxiety and stuff? As I was explaining it, I could very much tell. Let's see, I'm gonna be chatting for a while, so I'll try to get in the view of the camera so you can see me instead of my leg. A lot of people don't see things the way that we see them. I have a lot of experience, I have a lot of education. I've been learning about dogs for about 13 years. So it's not that I've just lived with dogs, it's that I've actually learned to understand them and what they need and who they are through the education and the hundreds and hundreds of dogs that I've trained from start to finish. So when I'm coming to talk to people, especially older people, no offense, you look great, by the way, it's oftentimes very confusing and conflicting information to hear a whole new way of looking at dogs and a whole new understanding of what dogs are. So in this perspective shift, which is basically what needs to happen if you want Malabar to listen to you, this is going to be conflicting and challenging for you because it might not be what you were expecting, right? A whole new mentality and also a whole new lifestyle. I know that you're friends with the Sullivans. Feel free to reach out and chat with them if you want, because they have two dogs that have gone through, or one has gone through and one is going through my program right now, so they can kind of help you understand that although this might seem like a lot of work and very tedious and maybe restrictive, in the long run you're going to be very pleased with the outcome. So I just kind of want to give you a little bit of a pep talk, kind of give you a little heads up as to this is going to be a big mind shifter. Malabar had an unbelievable amount of anxiety when she arrived here. She's calmed down tremendously. She still exhibits anxiety, but it's like, 25% is left. The other 75% we've gotten rid of. Sometimes when a dog arrives here, there's anxiety from being here, and then there's anxiety from the anxiety that they've already had. And what I'm seeing from her is extreme anxiety that resulted from actually what she already had. So I'm not to say that some of that didn't contribute to being somewhere new, because it is hard for dogs, every dog, no matter what dog. But in my experience and kind of comparing and contrasting her to other dogs, she has pretty bad anxiety. So I can definitely help you understand where that anxiety comes from. But this is why she struggles in the car. This is why she can't listen to you. This is why she's overstimulated outside. There's lots of other factors that play into all of this. From what I understand, she sleeps in your bed. That'll make any dog anxious. So there's going to be a lot of new requirements that I feel like you are going to have to embrace if you really want Malabar to be successful with you. Tools are tools. So this is not something that an e-collar is going to fix everything for. Lifestyle fixes problems. Tools help communicate. So I will warn you that if you decide to cut corners or take, however much information you feel like taking from this program, not only are you going to see that backfire, but the e-collar might eventually feel like it becomes ineffective. And that is because it's just a tool. The lifestyle is what keeps the anxiety at bay, and what keeps the dog manageable. The tool is just used for communication. So I just want to make sure to clear that up as well, because I don't want you to feel like having an e-collar is going to resolve all of your issues. It's not. And because her issues stem more from anxiety than anything else, I think it's important for you to understand kind of the key components in fixing anxiety. And I'm going to go over several different components, but today I'm going to focus on just a few, right? So as to not overwhelm you. So today we're going to be focusing on thresholds. This is going to be your new routine and ritual. This is going to be something that you're going to be doing every time you go to get Malabar out of her crate. And Malabar is going to be in her crate a lot more than you've probably ever imagined her, because she needs to sleep, and her world needs to be consistent. And so because you're not a dog trainer and you're not going to be making sure that you're consistent all day long, she's going to need to be in a crate whenever you're not working with her. I'll just do it. Okay. I'm making Malabar's mom her first video.
Okay.
So I'll just deal with her.
Oh, Heidi?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
can I see is that the business phone?
yeah.
Okay, no worries, I'll check later.
What were you gonna check?
I need to find my client's number for tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was a really jibber-jabbery client.
Okay. Sorry, dude.
No worries.
It's like Mesa doors didn't help timing on anything for me today.
No, definitely not.
So, do you like how I'm sitting?
I know, I walked in here, I was like...
Hey. It's the only way I could get into the camera angle.
I was like, this is what people think we do anyway.
She's gonna get this video too. It's like, look how provocative I am right now. Especially my dirty pants and my coat, my winter coat on the floor. Anyway, sorry about that. We only have one space, so sometimes, our videos get it. I don't like to edit videos either because I don't have space on my phone to do it. But anyway, I apologize for that little break. Door etiquette is what we're going to be focusing on, threshold etiquette. And so, you asked me when you came here, you were asking, I kind of got confused because at first it started with a Westie, and then as I started to explain car anxiety, you kind of changed the subject to Malabar. So I wasn't real sure exactly who you were referring to car anxiety about. But you did mention that Malabar does have car anxiety. So, this new ritual is an anxiety reliever for all things in their life. Excuse me. And you're going to think to yourself, how can something so meticulous and so small matter so much? And, the bottom line is that if you don't teach a dog's brain how to calm themselves down, they're never going to learn it. And if they don't learn how to calm down and self-soothe, it's going to translate into other aspects of their life. So yes, you've talked to your veterinarian and you've learned some tricks of the trade. Veterinarians are not behavior specialists. They're not even nutritionists. Veterinarians are Western medicine doctors for animals. So yeah, they might have experience or know a thing or two, but I'm here to tell you right now that all of my car anxiety cases have been resolved just through balance training alone. A crate in the car and balance training. Because when you balance a dog out and you get them to a point where they're no longer anxious about everything in the world, then believe it or not, car anxiety goes away. So I have had several cases that are more extreme than others. And in those cases, we have to actually break it down into steps. But in Malabar's case, I actually think that car anxiety will go away if, one, you put her in a crate when she's in it, because she should be in a crate in a car, and that you start focusing on thresholds. And actually focusing on thresholds anytime you're going in and out of them for the rest of her entire life. This isn't something that you just do for a couple weeks. This is actually a lifestyle. In order to eliminate anxiety and then preserve sanity, right? So that they are actually maintaining a non-anxious state of mind, we actually need to make sure that they have really, really nice rules and boundaries in place that teach their brain to calm down and not continue to escalate. So the first thing is the crate etiquette, the crate threshold. Unbelievable how bad she was at this. I have really comical because she's got a hell of a personality, but this dog flipped, flailed, twisted, you name it, this dog was all over the place like a bat out of hell when you go to her crate door. She's a lot better, but you're going to see a very mild version of what we saw when she first got here. But it was very clear to me that Malabar's not had to wait for anything in her entire life. And if it has been a wait, it's not been a very long one, like maybe a half second or a second where you maybe wait and then okay, and there really hasn't actually been any mental waiting. It was just physical halfway compliance, right? A dog who doesn't learn to wait for anything is naturally going to become anxious because they're basically so excited to get from point A to point B or to get whatever resource is being presented to them that they get so worked up, they work themselves up into a frenzy. And so if we don't ask them to wait and calm down, that frenzy is going to turn into anxiety eventually. And then there's anxiety and oh my God, it's coming, oh my God, it's coming, oh my God, it's coming. And that's exactly the exact example of how I felt Malabar was when she first came here. So that being said, if you want her to, one, have respect for you, have less anxiety, have less car anxiety, listen to you when you need her to, find you more relevant, give her a reason to want to be with you more than other things that you might run into, like dogs. Believe it or not, it all starts with crate and door etiquette. All thresholds, I should say. Crate, doors, garage doors, gates, car doors, anything that enters and exits something that is exciting, something that's meaningful to the dog, something that creates excitement in the dog, it is now going to be an expectation of yours in order to help Malabar and help her behavior and help her see you and help her anxiety levels. It's going to be an absolute requirement that this becomes a lifestyle training for you. Not just a moment in time, not this door, this hour, the next hour, I'm not going to do the door again. I don't feel like doing the door again. But no, this is now the new ritual. If this is the new ritual, if this is the new lifestyle, then what you're going to see is not only a dog that does it automatically instead of throwing fits or anticipating or making it a lifetime long management process. If you get on it so consistently right from the beginning, it will become their lifestyle as well, to the point where you don't even have to really, might have to remind them every once in a while, but it just becomes their second nature. So that's the beauty of it. It becomes their second nature, but only if you commit to it being a lifestyle. So every time you decide that you don't feel like dealing with it and you cut corners, the dog will actually never get on the program, and that will be a lifetime of management. Every time you go to do it, that inconsistency will create in the dog the inability to understand exactly what you want. And because they don't know exactly what you want, because you don't ask for the same thing every single time, again, it becomes a lifetime of management. So then it becomes kind of infuriating. That's a hard word. Holy crap, I should never say that again. It becomes very frustrating because the inconsistencies kind of make you feel like, are you ever going to get this? But the dog actually cannot understand what their expectations are unless you hold them to the same expectations every single time you interact with them. You're always in dog training. That's the dog's brain. You're always in dog training. So right now, I'm going to go over this first step to my new ritual that I'm going to ask you. And I would recommend that, she needs to be, I don't know what size crate she's in at home. I don't even know if she has a crate at home. I can't remember what you said. But I usually get a stool. I don't particularly like to sit on the ground or sit into a squat. So I might recommend you get a little stool, because you're going to be waiting at her crate door for a while. Right? And you're going to go to her crate, and whether or not you have a blanket, you're going to be waiting. You're going to lift the blanket up, or you're just going to come over and wait. And I think you can see see, let me pull this closer so you have a, oh shit. Sorry. So you have a better view of your dog, because she goes a little crazy. So actually she's doing really well right now. Probably because I've been sitting in front of her crate chatting, so she's had a long time to calm down. Now, when I used to come to her crate door, she would scratch all over the door. She would roll onto her back. She would spin in circles. She would snort and squeal and whine, and you name it, this dog would throw an absolute fit. And the only conversation it was, I was not torturing her. I was just sitting here like I am right now, patiently waiting for her to calm down. And really the only conversation I picked up from it was, I have no inability to wait for anything. Open this damn door. Right? And that is not only demanding, but talk about anxiety filled. I can't sit still. Oh my God, I can't sit still. Oh my God, I cannot sit still. Open the door. Please open the door. I don't know how to sit still. You see, that's the conversation. What this leads to is a dog that doesn't know how to soothe themselves. They're so anxious and they're so worked up that they actually don't know how to even calm themselves down. And that's what I see in Malabar. She has no ability to calm herself down. When she gets worked up, the amount of time that it takes for her to soothe herself was astronomical. As you can see today, not so hard. And it's not even been a week. So this is something that I think you can achieve very quickly, but it's only a matter of how patient you're willing to be with her and how committed you are willing to be in order to get her to be less anxious and more patient and really start to soothe that brain so it doesn't feel so overwhelmed all the time with the desire to move forward, right? Teaching a dog how to wait calmly is a beautiful thing, and it eliminates anxiety. So as I come to the crate, what I was waiting for was for her to sit. And as you can see, she's been sitting this whole time. So if she wasn't sitting, you're not going to say sit. You're not going to greet her, hey, Mally. Nope. You're just going to sit calmly, quietly, and wait for her to calm herself down. And that's exactly what she's done very quickly. Then I'm going to go to reach for this little latch here. And dude, I almost wish I would have made this video for you 2 days ago, because I have never actually seen her behave this well. It's almost as if she knows I'm talking to you. So I go to grab the crate latch right here, and if she were to start acting up or scratching at the crate door or flailing around or really just breaking her sit at all, I'm actually going to back up and not hold the latch anymore. Okay, so if I go to grab the latch and she stays in that nice sit that she's in, then I'm going to unlatch it once and just hold the crate door shut and give her an opportunity to absorb the latch being opened without her feeling like this is her opportunity to bolt out the door. Okay, then I'm going to get my leash ready, because she's going to get leashed up as she comes out of this crate. So I've got my leash ready. This is what you're going to be using. All right? And I'm going to open the door. And when I open the door, what I need from her is to stay. If she doesn't stay, I'm going to close it, and it's going to be in like a swooping fashion. So it's going to be like more, not so much a close as much as a close and open very quickly. So I'm basically putting pressure on her with the door. And as you could even see, like, see how her head is kind of even with her body? And if I actually push this into her, it kind of pushes her backwards. So the whole point of this, there you see, she just went back further in her crate when I did that. So the whole point of this is actually to back them up into a sit. So, you know, as you use your crate door to kind of swoop her back into that sit, you're going to then wait while the door is open for her to remain in a sit stay. You see how much calmer she is? So you're setting the tone for how you want her to feel about the outside world. And it's so much healthier for a dog to feel calm and relaxed about the outside world instead of in a worked up, excited frenzy where they are actually exhibiting high levels of anxiety. And that's exactly what she was doing. All that squirminess, all that squirreliness, jumping, all you name it, it was all anxiety. Okay? So this is what it needs to look like before she comes out of her crate. Now I'm going to back this up a bit because I'm going to invite her out of her crate. Come here, Mel. And when you put the leash on her while she's coming out of her crate, and then she's going to sit here real nicely. Hey, you. Yeah, see how calm she is? Right? Because we're working on calm. This dog needs to learn how to be calm. She's already full of excitement all the time. And a lot of people will say that that's the breed. Well, Boston Terriers are very excitable dogs. They're fooling you. All dogs are excitable by nature if we do not teach them another state of mind, right? And the reason why is because humans feed it to them. You want to go for a walk? You want to go for a car ride? Oh my God, I love you. Oh my God, you're so cute. Oh my gosh, the other dogs in the crate room are getting all worked up by this because I'm feeding excited energy. So the number one reason why all dogs are excitable is usually because the human feeds it. If the human feeds calm, the dog will actually show you that back, right? So I'm going to teach you how to put the e-collar on, where it sits, how to turn it on and off, all that. But part of this ritual is when she comes out of her crate, she's leashed, and then you put the e-collar on. So she's going to always have this e-collar on when she's out of her crate, at least for now, until she listens to everything. You're so freaking cute. I love you. I just love this dog. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to do door work. I'm going to turn this camera so you can see the door. And you can see Mally. Now, the next rule is going to be, I'm going to break this down into 5 steps. Okay, so we just did crate etiquette. This is door etiquette. I'm going to break it down into 5 steps. Bandit, chill out. 5 steps. The first step is she's going to walk to the door with me. She's not going to run to the door and beat me there. Okay? Let's go, Mally. So if she does, I'm going to go, Mally, come. Over here, sweetheart. Hey, over here. Good. Good. Line her up with me again. And then move forward. Good. See how now she's checking in? So I do not move forward if the dog does not move with me. Okay? So it's not, I'm going to keep walking to the door while I call my dog to me. It's stop walking, call the dog back to you, put him in that position. I will show you how to do that. Put him in the here position, and then start walking again. Anytime your dog starts to get off track, you'll stop walking. Come. Here. Good. Regroup them with you, and then head towards the door. Enough. Good. You're freaking cute. Okay? So again, step 1 is the dog needs to be walking to the door with you. You're a team. Here. If Malabar got to the door first and said, oh my God, I'm so excited to go out. Oh my God, Lena, open the door for me. Open the door for me. Yeah! I'm sure that's what your doors probably look like. And of course, you might say, oh, it's not that bad, or maybe you ask her to sit before she goes out, but there's some level of pitter-pattering excitement. She's ran to the door first. She's telling you to open it first, even if she briefly sits and then bolts out. The dog is saying, I'm excited. I'm anxious. Open the door for me. Open the door for me. I can't wait. Do it now. And yes, I looked very outrageous, and so did the dogs. It's just not as noticeable to people because, unfortunately, our society has created a norm that we should be getting our dogs excited before they go through doorways. Well, that's why I'm so damn busy, because it's not a good norm. It's a toxic norm, and it creates instability in dogs. So, you're a team now. She's going to walk to the door with you, calmly, attentive to you like she is to me now. I love you. I want you to be my dog. I do. You're the best. Okay, so we're going to walk together. Here. First step accomplished. She walked to the door with me. Now she's going to stay in a sit. Okay, so I put her in a sit. She did it on her own because she's already picking up on this pattern very well. I'm gonna reach and I'm gonna twist the doorknob open and see what she does. So that's step 2, twist the doorknob. What does she do? If she can stay in a sit, you go to your next step. Step 3, open the door. What does she do? Most dogs bolt. If they bolt, we're gonna start over. If she stays in a sit, I'm gonna do step 4, which is eye contact. When I get eye contact, I'm gonna go straight to step 5, good girl, which is here. And when I say here, we go through the door together. You're amazing. You're an amazing animal, and you've picked up on that so stinking well. Hey, I love you. Good. Okay, now that was perfect, right? Like, wow. Door work was the hardest part of working with this dog, creating door work. That's why I'm starting with this video first. I wasn't even expecting her to be that good. This is how far she's come and how much you've learned since you've been here. As a rule of thumb, never move forward with a dog when they're not in that level of expectation that you need from them. Stop walking or move backwards. And that's one thing I wasn't able to go over with you in this video, which is every time she messes up, you need to move her backwards away from the door. So in my first example, it was stop walking and put her back into a here position so she walks to the door with you. That is you moving her away from the door because she's moving towards it without you, right? Now, if I were to, let's go, sit, twist the doorknob, and she were to break, I would go, let's go, and move her away from the door, sit, and then I would twist the doorknob again to test her. And I would repeat that until the doorknob no longer meant go. Step 3 would only begin if she succeeded in staying in one place. Door open, same thing. If door open, she takes the opportunity to go. I'm going to close the door. Let's do a let's go. Come back. Sit. And then I'm going to close the door. And try it again. Right? In some cases, dogs think that step 4, which is eye contact, means go. They won't even wait for the command. They'll start to actually manipulate you, where they'll give you eye contact and take initiative and shoot through the door before you even said anything. I'll turn them around, say let's go, sit them with the door open till they give me eye contact, and then we'll go. The reason why the door is open is because I shouldn't go to step 4 until they succeeded in step 3, right? Step 4 shouldn't even be happening until step 3 has been completed successfully. So at this point, they don't need to go back to step 3, 2, and 1 because it's already been accomplished. Let's go. So you only have to backtrack the steps the dog messes up on. Sit. So eye contact does not mean go. Eye contact is one indicator that gives me the opportunity to tell them they can go, right? So she gives me eye contact, step 5 here. Now step 5 is one of those where if they bolt through the door, I don't need to go all the way back to step 2, 3, and 4. I just need to call them back to me. So if she bolted, I would just call her back to me, put her into a here, and then re-show her how I want going through the door to look. Like this. Come. Here. Good. Right? So I only need to backtrack the steps that she messes up on. Now I'm gonna, excuse all this camera, I don't like to edit my videos. It's too long of a process, so I really apologize for all the movement and such that's being created. And the camera falling and the employee disruption and you name it. I'm sorry, I just cannot afford the time to edit my videos. All right. This door is a lot harder because it goes to the outside world. So I'm gonna go over the steps again. Hey, Mallie. Yeah. So we're gonna walk to the door together. Sit. Step 1, complete. Good girl. Step 2, she broke. Right? So I'm gonna go, let's go. Good girl. Sit. All right. Step 2, doorknob twist. She didn't break. She didn't break her sit. She's doing great. Now I'm gonna go to door open, doesn't mean go. See how she broke? Let's go. Good girl. Good girl. Sit. Okay. So we've completed 1 and 2. So I'm only on step 3 right now in terms of where she needs to be working on. So I'm gonna open the door again. See how she broke her sit? I'm gonna close it. Let's go. Hey, come over here. Come over here. Come here. Sit. Good. Good. I'm gonna open it again. Perfect. All right. Step 3 complete. So I'm gonna wait for step 4, and when I get that and she doesn't try to break, I'm gonna go to step 5. Try it again. Sit. Try it again. Here. We're gonna go through that door together. Beautiful job, Mallie. So that was a better example of what to do when you make a mistake, or I should say when she makes a mistake. And so what I want you to do, and you can write this down, I don't know how you function, but like in terms of how to remember all this, you can rewatch this video several times. A lot of my clients do that, but this is something that the more adamant you are with the expectations over, the better of a dog she's going to become, okay? Now, the one thing I'm not going to show you in this video, I'm just going to explain, is when I go out the door, if they bolt, I call them back to me and make them sit. If they stay with me, I will make them sit pretty much immediately. So either way, once I get out the door, I'm going to create a sit. Oh, you're so good. Some eye contact, and then I'm going to say, okay, go potty, and I'm going to release them to take the line and go relieve themselves. So I'm not going to be, at that point, I'm no longer going to be micromanaging their every move until they're done going to the bathroom, and then we're on to the next step. So this is what your life is going to be looking like for a while. She's going to be in a crate a lot if you follow my directions, which I obviously strongly encourage you to do. You will get much further, much faster if you listen to me. Let's go. And I really can't emphasize enough, just weird. Just how important I think this process is. I think it's one of the most important parts of my training. I think it's even more important for Malabar because she does have so much anxiety. She really needs to learn how to wait and calm down and soothe herself and not get herself worked up into such a frenzy. So I'm going to strongly encourage you to implement this. All doors, car doors, same steps. The only difference is you're not going to be walking into the car together. Gates, garage doors, front doors, any back doors, any door that creates excitement, any door that's kind of leads to a new exciting place or back into the house, which is also going to be exciting. This is what I'm going to encourage you to do. So it might seem a little bit overwhelming, but you'll notice how much better Malabar is and how much calmer she is. So I think that you're going to start, if you can actually commit to this, I think you're going to be much happier in not just how she feels about you and her overall response to the world. Because let's face it, I am setting the tone, right? Instead of taking her outside when she's already at 10 of excitement, I'm calming her all the way down. So her perception of the world will be clearer. It won't be as jacked up and disoriented. It'll be clearer, it'll be more stress-free, so she'll relate that to you. You'll be associated with that. And what you're gonna see overall is a dog who eventually, not right away, but over time will balance out and will be able to handle more things like car rides. Let's go. Good job. All right, that's the end of my video. Thank you for listening.